Tales from the Terran Republic. Jaxona does the impossible. Patricia's lookout was now heading for the back at a trot. Toby grinned as he handed her the last of the bar. The late director loved these, but did not wish to be seen purchasing a Republic product. For obvious reasons, so I kept a stash for her here. Toby said with a wistful sigh. Munch, but aren't you enemies? Munch. Yes, Toby smiled. But she was a good adversary, and keeping a box of these things was little effort or expense. She would often fabricate reasons to come here just for one of these and then just pop into the ambassador's office to swap insults. She was all right in my book, Toby said, and then his eye stalks drooped a little. She will be missed. Anyway, Toby said, shaking himself slightly, I just so happen to have 2 whole boxes of those bars. You are welcome to them, he said as he walked over to a cabinet. Jaxona spun happily in her globe as he returned with 2 boxes of Power Bar Extremes. Wow, thanks, she enthused. And you may feel less constrained when it comes to buying from your foe. You can get these at Republic Goods. Really? Yes, Toby replied. They aren't expensive and usually in stock. Wow, thanks. I shall now announce you, Toby said pleasantly. You seem a nice enough eel, so I will tell you something. The ambassador leaves for lunch at precisely 12 o'clock Terran local time. He has become very particular concerning his lunches of late. I strongly recommend not delaying him, Toby said with a little smile. Thanks for the tip, Jaxona said, and then set a timer. John was lounging in his chair with a cup of coffee. He retrieved 2 of his grandma's special brownies, wrapped them in a napkin, and slipped them in his pocket for lunch. He looked up as a Callant who was practically bouncing up and down in her globe entered. John Wintersmith, he said tersely. And you are? Jaxona, she exclaimed, walking up and offering one of her hands. Callant Forum Liaison, currently attached to Federation Intelligence. Callant Forum, John asked with a raised eyebrow. To what do I owe the honor of such a visit? He asked with a touch of sarcasm. Oh, I'm not here on official forum business. I'm here on secret stuff. Secret stuff? Yes, secret stuff. I'm attached to Federation Intelligence, and I work with some people who are concerned with the Deputy Ambassador, and... I'm going to stop you right there, Guppy, John said, waving his hand dismissively. I've already told you fuckers that is an internal matter, if it is a matter at all, and the last thing I want or need is you fuck-ups meddling in Republic affairs. Maybe Axlia didn't get around to telling you before she was blown to shit that I told you assholes to fuck off, so let me repeat myself. Fuck off! Jaxona just grinned. Yes, but did the late director just waltz in here offering to save you from the big scary Deputy Ambassador? Or did she actually have something that you wanted, which I do? She said in a cheerful, very excited tone. John's eyes narrowed as he leaned back in his chair. And just what might that be? Okay, Jaxona exclaimed. You know that she has the red jelly. Red what? Oh, sorry. I mean anti-aging tech. I mean you have to, right? John didn't reply. What was this fish playing at? Well, anyway, in case you didn't know, some of her guys went missing. I might be able to get my hands on one of them, or pieces of one of them, whatever you want. You dare imply that I would be willing to make some sort of backdoor deal for the body of a Republic citizen? John snarled angrily. Yes, exactly, Jaxona replied cheerfully. Look, we have scanned and poked and prodded the heck out of them, and we can't figure anything out. You Terrans, well, you guys are bioscience badasses, and I figured that you might have better luck with it. If you are interested, of course. John was interested. John was really fucking interested. Since you are skipping the bullshit, which I deeply appreciate, I will do the same, John said, taking a sip of his coffee. What will it cost us? Just a copy of your findings, that's it, Jaxona replied cheerfully. We want to know what Patricia Who has, and so do you. We give you the samples, and you give us the report. Straight up simple one-time deal. And how do you know we won't just take the samples and tell you to fuck off? I really hope you don't, because it will make me look like a first-class doofus, Jaxona replied with a grin. Also, the more we know, the more we can do to mess up their plans in the Federation. That can only help you. Right, Jaxona asked with a happy little bobbing motion. John tapped his desk as he thought. The fish was right. They needed those samples. They had managed to kill a few active operatives, but it was ambush shootings with no way to grab a corpse. Since they were operating in secret, they didn't dare try to officially seize one, and the bodies always disappeared before they could sneak in to where they were being held. The fish had another point as well. Federation intel successfully operating against her in the Federation couldn't hurt. One-time deal, John said after a few moments. We get the body and you get a report. One-time deal, Jaxona smiled. And maybe if this works out we could... Don't push it, Guppy, John smiled. For now, just this deal. Body for report. Cool, Jaxona grinned. Yes. Whoa. She spun around in her globe happily. You are a little weird for a spy, you know that. Oh, I'm not a spy. I'm just the liaison. Yeah, right. Patricia looked at the kneeling figures before her. What is the status of the Porkies? Things are proceeding according to plan, Crimson replied. We will soon reach critical mass. Excellent, Patricia replied, her eyes glittering with delight. How many more before we can begin? According to our science team, we would like to get at least 10 more on each planet. But with the interest that is being generated, we will likely be able to easily exceed that soon. Everybody in the know wants our treatment. Fantastic, Patricia laughed. Finally, we are back on track. And what of Federation intelligence? We have encountered no resistance and haven't spotted any tails, but we can only assume they are out there. I doubt we completely killed their interest when we killed their director. Probably watching and waiting, Patricia chuckled. Only use the same operatives that we are currently utilizing. No sense having more of our people identified. The door to Patricia's office flew open as the lookout burst in. Patricia looked at her and raised her eyebrow. My lady, the lookout gasped as they fell to their knees. Callant just entered the embassy, got a food bar from Toby, and then entered the ambassador's office with no delay. What? Patricia strode through the embassy. The hatchet never missed. She had even left them a sample of that guppy's body, if that assassin screwed her. Toby looked up and took a sip of tea as Patricia walked into the lobby. Don't worry, Deputy Ambassador, Toby said with a pleasant smile. You killed her. It's a different one. Patricia successfully kept her expression even. That fucking beetroot. If you doubt me, Toby smiled. Just walk in there, you know, like you did the other day. Patricia's face started to turn red. He was laughing at her. She took a moment to compose herself. The time would soon come where she could properly address this beetroot, but for now, patience was called for. Patricia smiled, her face still flushed. Enjoy pulling the dragon's tail, don't you? She asked, her eyes blazing with rage. Oh, I would never do that, Toby replied politely. However, I have no problem plucking an old bird. Enjoy the feather while you can, beetroot. Patricia smiled, her face returning to its normal hue. The door opened to John's office. Bye, Jaxona exclaimed as she backed up and waved. Bye? Goodbye, John's voice chuckled from inside his office. Jaxona scuttled over to Toby's desk. Bye. Thanks for the food bar, she exclaimed, and then turned to Patricia with big eyes. Oh my gosh, I love your dress. It's so pretty. Why, thank you, Patricia replied with a beautiful smile as she examined Jaxona carefully. I'm so jealous of you terrestrials, Jaxona said happily. You get to wear the prettiest clothes. Well, I gotta run. Bye. Jaxona quickly scurried, her feet slipping on the tiles, out of the embassy. Patricia just watched her go with a somewhat confused expression on her face. She then gave Toby a cold glance and walked away. She was going to enjoy killing that beetroot. Gunny, you are now the first one on the grill, you know. A silver-haired female security guard chuckled once Patricia left. Totally worth it, Toby replied, his eye stalks whipping back and forth. Zrednex just stood there in shock as he stared at Jaxona. So, he said in disbelief, you got John to play ball. Yep, Jaxona said happily. He was really nice. The ambassador, nice? He was. And I got snacks. Look, Jaxona exclaimed as she pulled out the boxes of Power Bar Extremes. Want one? They are really good. So, you went to the Terran embassy, got a meeting with John Wintersmith. He was nice. Agreed to your deal and you got treats. Zrednex asked as he numbly accepted a Power Bar Extreme. Uh-huh, Jaxona said happily. He said he has to make a few calls, and since I didn't have like some secret communications thingy for me to come back tomorrow to set up the meet. And he was nice. Yes, super nice. And you're sure it was the ambassador? Zrednex asked as he held up a picture of John Wintersmith. It was this guy. Yes. Zrednex just shook his head. Okay, go back tomorrow and set up the meet then. We can do wherever and whenever they want, so make it happen. Sure, Jaxona said happily. Well, I need to get the tablets loaded for the afternoon briefing. See ya. Jaxona scampered off. Kalfrasa looked over at Zrednex with her feathered crest sticking straight up. What just happened? She asked in shock. Our coffee bot just succeed where even the late director failed, that's what happened, Xrenex muttered, watching Jaxona almost trip over the same desk she did this morning. Beginner's luck? Kalfrasa asked. Xrenex muttered as he scanned the power bar and took a bite. Calf, take a break from your current investigation and do some digging on our little coffee-fetching grad student. You got it, boss.